Welcome back to F1.
But we can't trust Sky Italia because they're on crack half
We
the
talked about
time.
how you should always stay hydrated.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. We have a lot to talk about, but not a lot at the same time. So let's get started. So first things first, we have some interesting tidbits, plot holes, interesting plots in general. We have Red Bull still hasn't announced the 2026 lineup. It's getting close to 2026, people. You gotta announce it sooner or later.
Yeah, well, you know.
Speculation, they were going to announce it this past weekend. Well, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I guess next weekend? And then the teams that broke the 2024 budget cap, is it 2024 or 2025?
2024.
2024, okay, just making sure. One has been confirmed, which is Aston Martin, of course, and they are taking a fine for it. The other teams have yet to be revealed.
Yeah.
And then we have 787 drivers have started a race in F1. 115 of those drivers have won a race. Only 2 have taken each of their first 10 wins at 10 different circuits. I have to guess who, don't I?
Yeah.
115?
Yeah.
Sebastian Vettel. No, I'm kidding. Max Verstappen?
Nope.
Was that a good guess, though? Is it from the older generation or the newer?
Yes.
Don't do that. Lando.
Yes.
So that means the other one's probably the older generation.
Well, you have to classify old. So, like, to me, the older drivers are from when I haven't watched.
Yeah.
But someone else could classify it as
Like,
it's before
old.
the 2000s.
I just say, like, the ones I haven't seen race before.
Live or rewatched races?
Live.
Okay, then you have not seen this person drive live.
Was it a McLaren driver?
I don't believe he drove for McLaren.
Okay. Ferrari?
Yes.
Okay. I have to think of names. Because, like, all my names are getting, like, jumbled in my brain. Enzo? No.
No, not
No. They haven't passed away, have they?
No.
No. Okay. It's like playing the game with, like, the little...
Guess who?
Does he still have hair? No, I'm kidding.
I don't know. I haven't. Well, that might give it away. I won't say anything.
There's been a lot of people that have driven for Ferrari. Or is this person still alive?
Yeah.
I feel like I should know who this person is.
You definitely should. You definitely should know who this person is.
I wish it was Sebastian, but it's not. Have I talked about him before?
I know I have. I'm not so sure if you have or not. He's very well known.
I know. That's what I'm like. I know. Like, I think I'm picturing him, but, like, I can't put a name to his face. Is he blonde?
Yes.
Does he have a driver that kind of resembles him in a way?
100%.
Okay. Is that Oscar's? No, it's not Oscar. It's yes, one. Is he the guy that goes?
No, it's not Kimi.
No. Okay.
Not Kimi Räikkönen. You're getting closer. You're getting closer, though.
Okay, I have, like, 2 blondes just standing in front of me in my mind. I'm, like, trying to figure out.
I believe he raced with Kimi, if I'm correct on this.
Does he have a hard name to pronounce? Like a hard last name or something?
I wouldn't say so.
And he has, like, a twin driver right now who's currently driving in F1.
Not currently driving.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna activate me. Has he driven with drivers who are still driving currently? Other than, you know, like, Kimi Räikkönen, who's not currently driving. Like, did he drive with Fernando?
He definitely...
Was, like, Hamilton a baby when he was driving with them?
He missed Hamilton by 1 year.
Dang, okay.
But he did drive with Fernando. And the 2 fought for 2 world championships in 2005 and 2006.
And he has a twin who's currently not driving, and it's not Logan Sargent, because no. And it's not Jack Doohan? No. Who else is it currently driving? Is it, I can't say his name, and that's what's confusing me. Like, I'll go to say it, and I'm like, that's not the right name. But, like, was his twin,
Nico Hulkenberg or Rosberg?
Rosberg.
I'm gonna say yes to Rosberg. I'm gonna say his twin might have driven with Hulkenberg, if I'm correct on the timeline. But I'm not 100% sure on the Hulkenberg. I'm more
Danny
sure about the
Ricciardo. I don't know. I literally have no idea. Like, I know the second you say it's gonna, like, make me so mad that I didn't say it. Can I get a hint on the name? Can you give me, like,
Would you want his name or his twin's name?
Twin's name, maybe. Let's make it hard.
I can give you the first name. I can't give you the last name.
Is it his dad?
Would you like the first name?
I'm picturing, like, his picture, his son's picture, his last name. I can't say their last name. I probably can. Does it start with an H?
You're close. There's an H in there towards the start.
What's his first name?
Him or
The kid.
Mick?
Oh, Mick, Schumacher.
Yes, Michael Schumacher. Yes, good job.
I was like, I know it's like a long last name, and it's something like I can't get out of my, like, I can't say it for some reason because I'm gonna, like, mix it up with, like, guys. I know my drivers. This was just hard.
But you got it in the end, right?
Yes.
I do have one more thing that I have for you to guess, but I feel more confident in this. So, there are 2 drivers in the ground effect era to have won 10 or more races. Can you name the 2?
The ground effect error?
Mm-hmm. This is all recent, yeah.
Recent?
And we have talked about both of these drivers numerous times.
Lando's one of them, right?
Yes, you're right.
10 or more. Is it Max Verstappen?
Good job. 2 for 2.
But anyways, now to race weekend.
Yes. We'll start with qualifying. So out in Q1 were Franco, Lance, Pierre, Alex, and Gabby. Out in Q2, we had Yuki, Esteban, Nico, Fernando, and Liam. And then in Q3, we had Ollie in 10th, Isaac in 9th, Oscar in 8th, Carlos in 7th, Kimmy in 6th, Max in 5th, George in 4th, Lewis in 3rd, Charles in 2nd, and Lando on pole. This was great. However, we have to note that Carlos did have a 5-place grid drop due to his causing a collision with Kimmy in Austin. So he ended up dropping down below Ollie and into 3rd, which was unfortunate because he had great pace. But then the race is a whole nother thing to get into here. But speaking of which, on to the actual race. So lap 1, down to turn 1. It's 800 meters, right? We were 4 wide. 4 cars wide going into turn 1, and let me just tell you, I was like, what is happening? Please don't wreck. I was so stressed out.
That was one of the most intense, like, lap. I mean, we've had lap ones.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
No, I can't hear you. I'm reading your lips, but I can't hear you.
It says it's picking up my voice, but it's very...
I don't know what just happened.
Can you hear me now?
No, I don't know what happened.
It says it's picking up my voice, though. I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do either. I don't know. That's never happened before.
Just
Hold
pause.
on, let me just nod yes or no to this. Should I stop the recording and then resend the link? Okay, we'll do that. All right, we're back. After the minor technical difficulty, we're back. Yeah, we were 4 wide into turn 1, and I was like,
what am I watching here? What is happening here? And then I was like, oh my gosh, if a McLaren wrecks into a McLaren, Max wrecks into a McLaren, or who was it? Leclerc? Was Charles one of the 4?
And Lewis,
I was like, if someone wrecks into someone, we're screwed here.
Yeah, I was like, just make it past turn 1 and we'll be fine. And then Max got pushed off and Charles got pushed off, so they had to do the escape route. And then one of the Mercedes, I believe it was Kimmy, also had the same thing happen.
Yeah.
And then I'm watching and I'm like, yo, that Ferrari's gotta give his place back. because there
Yeah.
is no way he is ahead of my driver right now.
Yeah. It was very chaotic, to say the least. I'm like, oh my god, what? Well, now you have to back off because you got to give the place back. And then I was like, someone's gonna wreck.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, I missed all the DNFs that happened.
Well, they weren't really like showing that part, and we'll get to that in a hot second on why, but yeah, the DNFs are a whole other thing. But Ollie had a great start. He was up from starting in P9 and he got up to P5 pretty fast on the restart. Or not on the restart, on the start of the race. But then Lando was able to start to build a lead, and then, the whole shebang between Max and Lewis that resulted in no penalty for either one of them. However, Lewis got a penalty for failing to follow the race instructions for when you have to bail out. I literally just said the term and I forget what the term is, but when you have to bail out of a corner, and he got a 10-second penalty for that. But I'm like, there was contact with Max, and you're gonna tell me you're only looking at that point, you're not looking at the rest of the thing, because they investigated that first and then the rest. And I'm like, really, you guys aren't gonna look at 1, 2, 3, and then 4? You're gonna look at 3, 1, 2, 4? I'm sorry, I didn't agree with the penalty, but whatever. And then Oscar ended up dropping down to 9th place after another bad start. And, eventually Ollie found himself battling George, Lewis, and Max for P4. And you know what? He got past all of them. So, shout out to Ollie. And then Yuki was actually one of the drivers who pitted. No, Yuki was one of the drivers that started on mediums. He didn't pit early. I don't know what these notes are. But him and Max were on the alternate strategy of starting on the mediums and then switching to the softs. And they both extended. And Yuki was out there. He had a 12-second gap. And guess what? When he went for his pit stop, after pretty much everyone else had pitted, 12-second pit stop. And ruined his race because he had a 12-second gap and he had a 12-second pit stop. He could have been fighting for points had Red Bull not given him a 12-second stop.
What even is a 12-second stop? Like, what did they do? Stop for tea?
If I knew, I would say. It's like he served a 5-second penalty, but there was clearly nothing there for Yuki. It was so bad. So
Red Bull
bad.
hates Yuki. They have to, there's something about that. Like, what do you mean you're gonna, I understand, the pit stops that Lando had that were long, and I'm like, I can kind of see where that's why they were longer, but even they were shorter than a 12-second
Yeah, they were
stop.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
12
So what
seconds?
are you doing with 12 seconds? Did everyone take turns putting a tire on?
And, he had no front wing damage, so I'm like, what happened? What made it take 12 seconds?
I know Yuki was mad. I need to hear his side of the story, because what do you mean 12 seconds?
Yeah.
I could get behind 12 seconds getting out of the... What? 12?
Yeah. Oh, whoop-de-doo.
Divide that by 2 and you get a 6-second stop, and I kind of believe that more, but 12? Okay, anyways, moving on.
Yeah, so then, Lando and Charles decided to stay out, see how long they could go, and they didn't pit until lap 34. So, I mean, Frelly, what are you doing with these tires? Your soft tires went for 34 laps. I thought they were only supposed to last for 10 to 20.
Yeah.
Again, I want more race action, and that the tires aren't enabling that, and that's annoying. But yeah, Lando built a 30-second gap towards the end of the race, which was great. But I was the entire race, I was holding my breath for Ollie. And at one point, we were on for an Ollie podium. At one point, if I had just held out for the one-stop strategy and not gone for the 2-stop, we could have had an Ollie Behrman podium.
I was holding on for him. all the memes I've seen of like when it was like when Ollie fighting for his life with Max behind him, and then like he was defending the best he could, and then you had all the memes with like Charles and Max, and then Oscar like taking people out one by one, and then you have Ollie fighting for his life because he has a McLaren behind him.
See the one where it's the guy in the rowboat and then the big ship.
My favorite one is the one guy on TikTok, the runner. He has like all the different colored shirts and he acts like them racing. He did one and it's like Oscar with like a big old stick coming after people, taking him out one by one, and then you have Ollie like, me? I'm good. Hurt me. Or like, have you seen the picture where it's like the train and you have like the car trying to pass the tracks? One memes. They're so funny.
I mean, Oscar had a recovery race, unfortunately. I'm not really thrilled about that, but that's okay. Carlos and his car problems, he had to keep getting penalties because because the pit lane limiter broke on his car, so he actually couldn't follow any limits. And Gayton, his race engineer, had to feed him the information for how fast he needed to be going. And so he still ended up getting 2 penalties because of that. And he even got a drive-through as well because of that. And yeah, it looked so promising, and then it just went downhill. But yeah, and then we had Mercedes trying to undercut Ollie and protect from Oscar, and they didn't do either one.
No.
So, not a great day to be a Mercedes fan, I'm not gonna lie. But then Max ended up pitting, and once again, he was on the alternative strategy. So while everyone was going onto the medium tire, he was coming off of the medium tire and going onto softs. And let me tell you, I was sweating buckets the last, 10 laps. I was like, please don't catch Charles. Please don't catch Charles.
The one time I'm like fully rooting for Charles. I'm like, come on.
I know.
Just drive. Keep the foot on the gas pedal. Just don't let go. Don't look back. Drive, Charles. Dude was fighting for his life.
And then we were saved by a virtual safety car, which really shouldn't have been a virtual safety car, but it's okay. In my mind, it's okay. Carlos, again, hit the wall. But not again. This is the first time he hit the wall. He did something with his suspension one way or another, and he was done with the car. So he just spun around and then went back behind the barriers. And which is where I'm like, okay, well now you can just yellow flag that area and everyone else can keep racing as normal. No. They decided virtual safety car. And some drivers, like Charles and Ollie, were raring to go and they put their foot to the pedal when it went green again, but it was looking nervy there for a hot second. But we got our glorious 30-second win from Lando. Charles was able to hold off Max. Ollie was able to finish ahead of Oscar. And I was like, I can chill now. I wanted the Ollie podium because you know what? Stinking last episode, I said Haas double points finish and an Ollie podium. And what almost happens? We get an almost Ollie podium, and we also get double points for Haas.
You just predicted it a week too soon.
Yeah.
We all have our off weeks.
I'm gonna get it one of these. But the race results. So we had Lando in first, Charles in second, Max in third, Ollie in fourth, Oscar in fifth, Kimi in sixth, George in seventh, Lewis in eighth because of that 10-second penalty, Esteban in ninth, and Gabby in 10th. So that's our points finishers. And then in 11th, we have Yuki. 12th, we have Alex. 13th, we have Isaac. 14th, we have Lance. 15th, we have Pierre. And 16th, we have Franco. Our 3 DNFs are Liam, Fernando, and Carlos. We talked about Carlos's. We'll talk about Liam and Fernando's now. So, Liam's, he had some problem to start off the race because they pitted him early. And then they put on a new front wing, so clearly something had happened there. I don't know. I didn't really watch his turn one because I was too focused on being 4 cars wide into turn one. But that's okay. And then they tried to let him run a couple more laps, and I don't know, it was something wrong with the car because by the time like lap 15 rolled around, they were like retiring the car. And I was like, oh wow, this is early. Fernando's is a completely different story. So during the race, Aston Martin asked for Lance and Fernando to swap positions. So they did. And then Fernando was like, nah, I'm not doing this, and pulled into the pit lane and got out of the car and left.
He said, I'm just done.
Yeah, well, earlier in FP1, apparently, like, all communication with every car went down 20 minutes before FP1 was supposed to start, which, that's not great. And so Aston Martin had been having problems all weekend with communicating and everything. And I mean, I get it from Fernando's standpoint because I was literally listening to his radio during the race. And it was like, radio check, hello, can you hear me? I really hope that they broadcast this radio. And then it was like, radio check, 1, 2, radio check. And then Fernando's like, radio check, clear. And it was like,
He just said, I'm not trying this today.
It was like, hello, is the radio working? Like, that's pretty crucial for the race. But he had enough, and like, you could tell the car was really bouncy too. And I didn't blame him for getting out of that rust bucket. So
the response, I don't blame him one bit. But you know what my favorite thing about Nando's weekend is his little little visor.
Yes, that was
I love that. I love that. That was one of my favorite things. I love Nando, and his little sassy, like, everything he does, I'm just like, he's having a good time.
Yeah.
You can't blame him.
He's getting ready to drive that newie car next season.
Yeah. But that's our race video for this week. Mm-hmm. If you guys have any tidbits, any thoughts, any predictions, like how did your predictions go for this weekend, let us know in the comments. If you don't want to miss any more of our race videos, subscribe, turn on our post notifications. What am I missing? Like this video, and then check our other links in the description below for our other social media pages down below. We are doing really good when it comes to subscribers right now. Again, if we reach 500, we will be doing a giveaway. So if you want to be one of those people, comment, subscribe, keep an updated response on all our videos, and you will be a top contender. Just think about it.